Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. Today's Thriver TV focuses on a very big question. Many of you are suffering abuse from a narcissistic family member, and you may believe that you can't go no contact because, as we're all brought up to believe, family always sticks together and we're responsible and we have obligations to them. Or maybe, understandably, you are forever hopeful that you can finally have the relationship with this family member that you've always wanted. And I totally get that. In today's Thriver TV episode, I want to take you through this. How to know when you may need to go no contact with an abusive family member, what that looks like, as well as how to do it guilt and pain free. Hello, Tiggy. He's back. And if you don't have to go no contact, what that looks like as well. So, just before we dive in, I would love to thank all of you who've been subscribed to my channel for doing so and for supporting the Thriver mission. And I'd love to remind you to like this video if you enjoy it. All right, let's begin. So why are family relationships deemed harder to disconnect from? So many people say, this is my mother, my father, brother, sister, or even my child. How can I turn my back on them? I can assure you that there are countless people in this community, lots of them, who have laid the ultimate no contact boundary with abusive family members, even their own children. And it doesn't mean that they are bad people for abandoning key family members. It means they finally realised that this person was destroying them, as well as the people and missions that were important to them. They also understood that in no way was their involvement with this person helping them to wake up, take responsibility, or get better. Let me put it to you this way. Imagine someone drowning in a toxic vat of poison, and you jumped in to try to get them out of it, and they had no inclination to leave the vat, and instead just wanted to pull you deeper into it with them. Is your sense of loyalty and love for them, or your desire for their loyalty and love, worth destroying yourself for? The fact that you are watching this episode probably means that you've already tried everything over the years to pull them out of this stinking toxic vat, but nothing has worked. And the more you've tried, the more you are getting repeatedly slimed and infected as well. And I know you may not think that you have a choice. The only choice you need to make is to live a wholesome, true, healthy life. There is no other choice than that. And I promise you there will be a way that your empowered choice will grant the abusive family member their own choice. And that is either get on board with being respectful or don't. And the result will mean that you can be free to take your precious soul energy back for yourself and the people and missions in your life that are healthy. Those being the ones that will respond and come with you on this incredible journey of life. I want to talk about the Thriver quantum truth about this. If you love a toxic person, then you truly have a responsibility to be a living example of health to them, which is I will not experience your abuse anymore. This is where I draw my line. That is the only way that you will help them heal, if that is possible, because now, if they want to remain connected, they will need to be a respectful, decent person around you in order to do so. This is what's so important to understand. If you honour yourself in honourable ways, then you honour all of the field, including all others. You're not honouring anyone, and certainly not yourself, by allowing another's abuse into your life. And I promise you that with key people in my life, including my own son, I had to lay the ultimate boundary. This is what I will accept and what I won't, and there can't be any more contact unless we meet at a healthier place. The most effective way to teach people how to treat you is to be lovingly and totally honest. Tell difficult people that you want a more loving, closer relationship with them, and if it's not possible, then you will disconnect. And mean it. Words aren't enough. Boundaries mean following through with action. Unless you are true to your own soul and you're the steadfast guardian of it, you are never whole enough to truly love, honor, or contribute to anyone else's life anyway. How can you be when you're diminished, victimized, unloved, unrecognized, unappreciated, and resentful? Okay, I want to share with you a little bit about my journey with family members. I know after previously suffering narcissistic abuse and continually staying attached, trying to change people, and I was being re-traumatized by doing that, almost fatally, I knew that I was never going to experience that again, even from my own flesh and blood. Was I just able to logically get to this level of being prepared to lose it all to get it all and follow through? Hell no, I wasn't. Once upon a time, I was riddled with guilt, the fear of smearing and what people would say, and the terror of being alone and losing key family members that I'd wanted a loving relationship with all my life. I had a lot of shifting on painful, stuck beliefs to do, and I diligently did that work with NARP and later with my Transforming Family of Origin Wounds course, which follows on from NARP, as a powerful cleanup of family trauma. I did all that work. And after doing this work and honouring my soul by speaking up about what I needed and being prepared to never compromise myself again if respect and decency was not forthcoming, key relationships in my life transformed beyond description. Some others have left my life, excuse me, without pain or regret. And that's okay because we're just not a match anymore. And I've let go of any what ifs and regret with Quantum Freedom Healing. I'm free to be me, and they are free to be whatever their version of life is as well, without me trying to force them to be different to make me happy. Let's have a look at downscaling unhealthy expectations. Okay, the most important thing you need to start understanding is not even about the family member. It truly starts with you. There is an acceptance that you need to reach and get clear about. If people don't have the resources, they don't have the resources. You may want your mother to truly love, connect with you and share and listen to you from the heart, as you've seen how other people have that relationship with their mothers, but maybe your mother's not capable of that. Maybe she had a difficult childhood. Maybe she's never been connected to vulnerability in the heart or the ability to be deep, caring and compassionate with anyone. Maybe she only ever knew about survival and practicalities because her generation didn't embrace empathy and emotional connection. When we feel like we've missed out, we need to accept whoever it is, whoever the family member is, they may never be able to grant what we want in the way that we feel we need it from them. This means we need to come home to be the loving parent and inner supportive caring force that we never received to ourselves. And this is one of the reasons why NARP has been so successful for not just healing people in this community from abusive love intimate partners, it also reaches back into the trauma from our families and cleans this up from our parents and our ancestors that caused us the disconnection from not loving and being whole within ourselves. Life is bountiful and plentiful. There is love and wholeness everywhere. We suffer when we believe our source of these things has to come from specific sources. It's an incredible, liberating human graduation when we realise that that's a lie that's kept us victimised and traumatised. You can set yourself free from this. Understanding all of that acceptance was huge for me. It truly changed everything for me. Let's have a look at laying your boundaries with family members. If you've been healing your traumas from childhood and you know that you can downscale your expectations healthily and be at peace with a family member relationship, then that's great. However, if you know that there are still behaviours that cross your boundaries and hurt you, then there is more work to do. This starts by being very clear about what you will and won't accept in your life and having the inner deservedness to know you can generate these things regardless of what other people do or don't choose to do. People don't have to agree with your boundaries and your truths for you to live them. And no matter how much people may try to guilt you, manipulate you, or abuse you to try to get you to drop your boundaries, your true power comes from living them anyway. That's so key. So here is where we champion ourselves or we remain victims to others. Are you able to walk your truth regardless? Are you able to anchor into the creation of your true life rather than keep handing your power away to others, even if you lose these people? These are very important questions because when you lay boundaries truthfully and lovingly is best, more about how to soon, you cannot be attached to outcomes. Boundaries are not to make anyone else do something. They're only about giving them options. Rather, boundaries are about you doing something, taking back your life and control, making your decisions about how your life goes. And it goes like this. You can join me if you like and not if you don't. And either way, I'm walking this truth regardless. It is normal, so normal, to be terrified about having honest, difficult, self-honouring conversations. Confrontations are hard, yet they're an incredibly rewarding thing to do. When you get to this level, you will no longer ever be abused. And if you don't want to work on yourself to get to this level of development, you will always continue to be susceptible to abuse. At this level of self, your life will shape into disappointing family members stepping up to meet you at this higher level of respectful communion and love, or they will leave your experience, causing your life to open up, generate and accept real, loving and genuine connections in all areas, even if this has never been possible previously in your life. Do you believe your soul evolution is going to get handed to you on a silver plate? Think again, it really isn't. The relationships you need to transform or leave were always meant to be the most painful ones that you could imagine. How else were you going to become a full source to self-generating your life with life and others powerfully and healthily? All right, so laying your boundaries, let's look at it. If you can't downscale expectations and be at peace with the way a family member behaves or treats you, then it's time to show up honestly. If you have terror about doing that, or if you're not prepared to honour yourself in the decision that they make, then there is inner work to do. Ultimately, to grant them the opportunity to be respectful, you do need to be willing to lose it all to get it all. And possibly more than once to see if it's real. They may decide to meet you this time at your needs and be respectful, yet the actions, the real life actions, don't meet the words in the future. So then you need to go back to no contact unless they choose to take responsibility and show up respectfully. And you need to mean it. Can you see how this is their choice and not yours? You are simply living your life truthfully and lovingly. Love always has to start with healthy self-love and devotion. You are healing, growing and evolving yourself out of painful family toxicity, and you're also leading the way for your future generations. Your children are learning how to honor themselves healthily. You are breaking the cycles of abuse. You are being the change that you want to live in your life and see in this world and in all families from the inside out. This is not just your soul right, it's your soul contribution to all others. Can you understand that if we all took this level of radical personal responsibility, there would be no more abuse or abused people in the world, because there would be nobody left to abuse? So let's get back to the vital understanding. If you honor yourself, you honor all of life in honorable ways. Now, do you understand why? Especially with key people in your life? If so, I want you to pause this video and write, I get it. Really write it. Stand in it. Write, I get it, below. Are you ready to join myself and other countless thrivers who live this life of empowered personal responsibility and receive genuine, wonderful interpersonal relationships? Are you ready to do that? If you've had enough of abuse at any level from anybody, including from family members, find out how we do this by clicking the link at the top right of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share with the people you love and your communities so that they and their families can also break free from abuse. And I am so looking forward to answering your comments and questions about this really important topic below. And just a quick shout out to all the Aussie Thrivers that my live tickets for the Oz tour, the early savings specials, are ending on the 18th of November. So just to remind you so that you can grab your tickets, and I'm going to love empowering you live, doing that all together. So until the next one, keep smiling, keep healing and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.